I did the warm light. I can't really. Oh, oh, oh. There we go. There we go. I'm like, I know it should be able to fix a little bit. All right. Happy Friday, everybody. Okay. Happy Friday. We made it. We made it. Because, y'all, I love Friday. I love Fridays. I get so excited when it comes to Friday. Um, so I'm just jump right into it. Okay. But before I do, how was y'all Friday? Did y'all have a good Friday? My Friday was fast, quick, and easy. It was a little rainy outside, but it was fast, quick, and easy. That's how I like. I like to have those Fridays. Do y'all have anything prepared for the weekend? What are you guys doing? So I'm gonna tell you what I'm doing. I have my sister's birthday party bash that I'm going to, and then I'm not gonna say the next thing because I don't know if he's going to watch, but I'm gonna surprise somebody. But yes, we're gonna get into it. And if y'all are wondering why I have this on, I have my curls in my hair so it could be fresh for tomorrow for the party. So we just gotta let it sit. Because with me, you're gonna get the real me, you're gonna get the real Bible study, you're gonna get honesty and everything. So this is just me being uniquely me. But we're gonna get started. So we're gonna talk about growing closer to God and then new season, new you. This one, so I'm gonna tell you guys what I do. What happens when I get a Bible study or word for you guys, I ponder over it. And I go back and forth with God, like, okay, should I do this now? Should I do it later? Because from how He wants me to do it, it just depends on, because He knows who is going to go back and watch. Because with my Bible study, I know it's Friday night, and I know a lot of people that I'm close with, they get off work around 8, and I'm normally done at that time. But I have to do Friday because I'm busy. I'm a mom. I'm a businesswoman. I go to the gym. I work, so it's so much that I do, and Friday was just a good time for me. But for other people, they come back and they watch it, so I have to um, make sure that how he wants me to do it is coming to you guys the right way. And for this one, growing closer to God, man, you got listen. Yesterday, because sometimes I'll get it, like he'll tell me Monday, and I have to go on my notes on my on my phone on my daughter's iPad and write it down and then get ready to prepare for you guys because I'll forget. Because you guys know when God speaks, it's like it comes like boom, 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 boom. It's like I'm like, oh, I got to get it down. Um, so definitely he wanted me to talk about growing closer to him, and that a lot of people are losing sight of him, and he just wants you guys to come back to him. So we're going to talk about growing closer to God and then new season, new you. That one I did for myself because I'm seeing a lot of people on social media, people who've asked me questions. Like I want to change my mindset. I want to become a better person. I want to change how I'm going about in my everyday life. And so I'm like, okay, you know what? New season, new you. Let me tell you how to do that. So we're gonna go straight into it. Growing closer to God. There are 4 things that you must quit in order to grow closer to God. And these are the 4 things that just came to me. Okay. Worrying, which is number 1. Stop worrying. You guys have to stop worrying. I know it's harder. It was easier said than done because everybody does it. No one's perfect. Every here and there, you're going to worry. I worry. But I will be honest and say nowadays I don't worry about too much anything. Like literally. Really much nothing at all that I don't really too much think about or ponder on so much to where I'm like, okay, I don't do it anymore because once you give it to him, like it's number 1 is stress free. If we're gonna be honest, it's stress free. And then secondly, it's amazing to where you know that there's someone who has your back and you're not fighting this battle alone. Matter of fact, you don't have to fight it at all because he's telling you to give it to him. So you don't even have to fight at all. Just give it to him, whatever it is. And what I normally do, and you can tell me what you guys do as well, but what I normally do, I normally write it out in my little journal that I do every now and then. And I tell God what I need help with or what I'm wanting to give to him because I can't manage this by myself. This is too hard for me to do. I'm gonna tell you right now, I give up. I surrender because I can't do this. And it may not happen right away, but at the end of the day, he is going to fix it. Like he's going, whatever it is that you're worrying about. Okay. Okay. Whatever it is that you're worrying about, he's going to go ahead and just relieve you of it. So worrying, and this comes from the scripture. So there's 4 things that you must quit in order to grow closer to God. And if you're doing these things, that's okay. That is okay. Just learn to slowly just quit them so you can have a closer relationship with God. So worrying, worship is worship to the devil. Okay. So God says we shall cast our worries onto him and to be anxious for nothing. So give it to God and let him take the weight off your shoulders and take the weight off the worries. That came from Matthew 6, verse 25 to 34. And let me go back because I said worship is worship to the devil. Sorry, I didn't mean to say it like that. So basically, if you're worshiping God, he does not like that. He can't stand it. So just worship God in the midst of what you're needing him to fix. In the midst of you worrying or the midst of you, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what to do. Worship God, praise God, and it'll make the devil unhappy. Because if you don't do that and you're worrying, and if you speak it, like I told you guys, I think in session 6, if you speak it, the devil will hear it and then he will use it against you. So for example, if you say, okay, well, I'm just not going to get that promotion. I'm just going to give up. You said it, he heard it, he will then use it against you. But here's the way to defeat that. If you mistakenly say, because we tend to vent sometimes, and we tend to say things that we don't mean at the moment because we're in our feelings, it's the flesh, right? If you just go ahead and say, I'm not going to get that promotion, and you just slip up, but then say, in a split of a second, but Lord, I praise you in the midst of this. But Lord, you know what? Yeah, I give it to you. I surrender to you. And if it's in your will, I will get that promotion. And the devil was like, you know what? Dang, I had him. But dang. See, because the devil can't stand when you are going through something, you say Lord or God or anything that is affiliated with Jesus, he can't stand it. He cannot. So worrying is the first one out of the 4. The second one, speaking word curses over your life. So that one is very, very, very real, y'all. That has happened to me when I was growing up. So basically that's like life and death are in the power of the tongue. So what you speak, you will become. So stop speaking negative over yourself. Instead, start speaking God's word over your life so that you can start to see yourself in the way that he does. And that came from Proverbs chapter 18, verse 21. If you constantly keep speaking negative over yourself, negativity, or saying negative things about yourself, that's who you will become. And that's how your life will play out. You have to stop doing that because it's not going to bring you closer to God. It's really going to steer you away from him because now you're in the negative mindset that nothing ever is going to prosper for you. And God is not like that because the story's already written. And a lot of people, they're like, well, how's the story written if we're going through it? You got to go through it to get to the end of the happy ending. But in the midst of it, he give you free will. See, that's what that come in at. So your life is really already written out. But in the midst of your life, you have free will. So he'll tell you what to do. And it's your decision if you're going to do it. But still here, which you still already know. You still already know. You can't surprise God. So speaking word curses over your life, don't do that. You got to stop doing that. Number 3, allowing your fears to control you. That one, I know that that one could be pretty hard. Because it's not that you're just wanting to not accomplish anything. It's just that you're just too scared. Or maybe you just, you probably have, and sometimes it could be from other people. Like you'll have some people in your corner that may not be intentionally trying to bring you down, but like, ooh, that's a lot. Like, let's say if you're trying to start a new business and someone says, or you're trying to pitch a business plan to maybe Walmart or Sally's to get your products in their store, right? And before you go to pitch, your friend, ooh, that's a lot, man. I couldn't do that. Now they're projecting how they feel on you, or now they're, making you feel bad. Not intentionally. They're not trying to do it on purpose, but it's like they're just speaking out like, girl, I couldn't do it. Well, those are things you have to just air. Don't listen to it. You know, yes, a friend is just being a friend and probably stating how they feel in the midst of doing that if they were to do that. But don't allow your fears to control you. Allow someone else's fears to control you. The devil is a liar. Let's just get that off point. The devil is a liar, okay? God does not give you a spirit of fear. The enemy places fear and doubts in your mind to prevent you from becoming who God called you to be. This is what I always tell people. Everybody has been called, but a few are chosen. The difference is, because people ask me all the time, how do you know what you're chosen? Well, I knew I was chosen because he told me. Other than that, I would have never known. But when you're chosen, you're going to do it. I don't listen. There's been plenty of times I ran from so many things he told me to do. And then I had to come right back because he's like, no, you gonna do this. Then you have it to where you're called to do it, but then the people that are called to do it, they just don't want to do it. It's a difference. So being called, everyone is called. Everybody is called. Everyone is called, but a few were chosen. But that's for another time. We could go deeper into that in another space. But I don't like when people say, well, you know, God has not been doing the things that he done for other people. Like, how do people become an evangelist and a deacon and an apostle and a pastor? Well, they've been called to do that. And some have been chosen to do that. But it's because they listened. Because you can run all you want. But what made me turn around was a life-death situation when I said, yeah, I'm going to turn around. I'm going to do this. What he told, I'm going to do this. And I accepted it. And I accepted being chosen, and I accepted to fully understand that I was anointed outside of seeing things, because I've had a relationship with God, but I never heard him as clear as I can hear him now. Like I can hear him now clear as day. But to where it was a life-death situation, it was about 2 years ago. And I was like, you know what? No, God, I'm not going to run from this no more. I'm literally going to do what you told me to do. And I remember I was on my floor and I was worshiping. I had my door closed, and my daughters, they were just like, Mommy, you okay? And I'm like, I'm okay. I'm okay. But I had to close the door, and I was worshiping. I was listening to gospel music, and I was just on my knees on the ground, just praying. I told God, I accept it. I said, God, I'm accepting whatever it is that you need me to do. I accept it. And y'all, the next day, it just felt like it was a breather. It felt so amazing. And I just gave it to him. And what I asked for, I got in 3 days. And so basically he was saying, you could have done this from the beginning. If you would have just did this from the beginning years ago, do you not know everything that your heart desired? I would have gave it to you. If you had done my will, if you had been doing what I told you to do. But because I was fighting against him, I wasn't getting what I wanted. And so now in today, present time, anything that I have ever wanted since the day I turned like to him, I've gotten. And I can't even lie about it. I have gotten it. And it's not because I'm doing it because, oh God, I want to get this and that. No, I just love the fact of worshiping him. I love the fact of talking about him. I can talk about God all day. Like me, my dad, and my best friend, we will talk about God from morning to nighttime. I'm telling you, like we won't eat. We won't move from that spot. We will just talk and talk and talk because it's just an amazing feeling. And I want everyone else to endure that feeling. Like it is amazing. But do not allow your fears to control you, other people's fears to control you. So remember, God walks with you before, and he is always with you. So why should you be afraid? Always remember that. And that came from Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. And the fourth one is people pleasing. This one we have to stop doing. We have to stop doing. I'm going to give an example for this one. I have three sisters. It's four of us. And I would always try to please them by constantly being there for them, like being supportive with my niece and nephews, or just if it's financial troubles, trying to help them here and there when I could barely help myself at the time. Like it was so much. And I was like, after I got done people pleasing them, I was drained. I was tired. And I was like, God, I can't do this no more. And he was like, you got to have discernment. Yes, that's your family, but you have to know when someone is using you, and you have to know when they're taking advantage of you. And it took me a long time to understand what that was. So people pleasing, stop making decisions based off what other people will think about you. And that's what I used to do. And I think we all have had a few shares of of doing that. When you are walking with God and in God, you are not going to be liked. Let me tell you something. Like I told in session 6, me just being chosen who I am, People either gonna like me or they're not. There's no in between. I've never encountered a person that was indecisive when it came to me. It was either no, I don't like her, or it was like I love her. That's what I get. I either get I don't like you or I love you. I don't ever get in between. And I used to be like offended, like, man, why don't you like me? And they would never be able to tell me why. And that's when the more I grew closer to Christ, God was saying it's because you're chosen. It's because the light. When they look at you, it's a shining light. When you walk in the room, it's breathtaking. And I remember I was young, like I maybe college years or probably the beginning of high school years. And I remember I walk into class and everybody would just, and I'm like, is there something on my face? Is there something on me? And I just had on, I mean, my hair was regular. I just had it straight and I wasn't wearing nothing fancy. It was just regular school clothes. So I'm like, what's going on? And then in the classroom, it would be either half people that like me, some people ain't never spoke a word to me. And then I could be nice. You could, and that's the thing, being a Christian, I mean, you're nice to everybody, but like at the beginning, I would try to purposely extend myself to people. Like, hey, you dropped your pen, just trying to get some type of conversation. And I remember one girl, she looked at me, she rolled her eyes. I said, all right. Like, so that's what it is. Either people gonna like you or not, and you have to be okay with it, especially walking in Christ. And when there's God in you, when people see Christ lives within you, oh yeah, they ain't gonna like it. They can't stand it. They can't, which I don't know why, because Christ can live within you too. So that part really don't make sense to me, that you don't like me because I want and I have a relationship with God. You can too. Let's see. Walking with God. You're not going to be liked because you make decisions opposite of what people think is right. Focus on pleasing God. And that came from, let me see, did I write down? Colossians chapter 4, verse 23. And then that's another thing. People are not going to like you because you're going to make decisions that they don't like. Like, I don't drink. I've never drunk. I don't smoke. I've never had a cigarette. Have I been around these things? Yes. I don't go to the clubs. I don't dance and twerk and all that other stuff. I don't dress to get attention. I don't do all that sex stuff. Like, I don't do any of that. And because they're doing it and you're not doing it, they're then going to be offended. Why? Who knows? They're going to be offended that you ain't doing what they doing. I'm like, what? Why are you mad? So they want you to be in like the same thing of what they're doing. I'm like, no, I can still be your friend, but I don't have to indulge in what you're doing. I don't have to deal with that if I don't want to. So it took me some time to get to that point of, I don't have to please you. My main goal is to please God. And this is what I won't tolerate. And I'm not going to sit here and tolerate or deal with it because you want me to. Once you put that in your mindset that you don't have to people please nobody, listen, it's peaceful. It's peaceful because you already know they're going to talk about you. And it's okay. They talked about Christ. So why wouldn't they talk about you? Let's see. So it's another thing, but I'm going to skip that one. And we're going to go to part 2 of going closer to God. Okay. So let me go back here because it was a lot, y'all. I'm telling you, it was a lot when I was writing. Okay. Another thing that he wants me to let you guys know, to stop normalizing. So these are things that Christians are doing that they have to stop doing and thinking that it's okay. Cursing. No, it's a no. I know sometimes we get a little mad and we may say hell or, dang or the F word or whatever. No, we got to stop doing that. No foul language should come from your mouth, but only what is good for building up someone in need. So that gives grace to those that hear. So he only wants you to speak nice things, encouraging things, prosperous things, optimistic, like wonderful things, genuine things. Just don't curse, don't, because, and if you go deeper into it, because we could get deep, cursing is also cursing on your life and someone's life as well. It's more to it. But he doesn't want you to do that. He wants you to stop normalizing that. So he wants Christians to know, don't do that. And that came from Ephesians chapter 4, verse 29. And then here's another thing, little white lies. I had to tell myself, Shada, you can't do that. I said, no, you can't do that. Because I don't make big lies. Like I used to do like them little lies. Like if somebody called me, what you doing? I'd be like, girl, I just came out the shower. And I know I didn't come out the shower. I did not. I just got home. I lied. It was just a little lie. I'm like, God, it's not that bad, but he don't like it at all. No, not at all. Or if I was surprising somebody and they're like, I thought you was coming to come see me, girl. And I was like, sorry, I had a flat tire. But I'm like 5 minutes away. I just want to surprise her. That's still a lie. And I'm thinking, God is like it's for a good, intention. Like I'm lying to surprise, or I lied because I didn't want to go out. I was tired. Like when I'm like, girl, you coming out? And it's me being me, it's 10. I ain't going nowhere, but I'll tell them, yeah, I'm getting ready. I ain't going nowhere. So things like that. Like the Lord detests lying lips, but he delights in people who are trustworthy. That came from Proverbs chapter 12, verse 22. So those little white lies, we gotta stop normalizing because he doesn't like that. Hanging out with bad company and bad influences. I've been telling everybody I know to stop doing this. But you can't, everybody's not gonna listen. They're not until it's too late. You gotta be wise with who you spend your time with, who you talk to, who you choose to be around. Because once the flesh realized that, because we're fighting our flesh every day, y'all. Once the flesh realized, and once the devil realized that you're trying to change and become better with Christ, and now the devil and your flesh knows that you're around temptation, what do you think it's going to do? It's going to draw you closer. I've been celibate, right? So I'm celibate, honesty. And let's just say one day I go on a date with this fine gentleman, and he's my type, I'm his type. And he's like, come back to my place. I know I have common sense to go, no, Sade, go home. But my flesh is saying, no, Sade, get in that bed, do what you, because you ain't had it in a long time. I told y'all we're going to be blunt, we're going to be honest, because I don't lie. That's how our mind works, right? You have to tell yourself what's more important, this 5, 10, however many minutes with this man, or me still being celibate, still practicing celibacy and pleasing God. Because once you're done with that, now what's next? Now you got to start all over again. And now you're going to feel bad about yourself. Like, dang, like you're going to feel disappointed in yourself. Like I've been celibate for years. And now I had this one moment of temptation when I should have went home, but I didn't listen. And like I said in the last session 7 that I had last week, in the back of your mind that little voice that you hear when it says no, that's God. No, that's telling you that. When people say God doesn't speak to them, no, he does. You're just not listening. You're choosing not to listen. Before we make any decision in life, you know how they be having like the devil and the angel on your shoulders? That's really true. Like before you make any decision in your life, you're going to think about it before you do it. Should I do this? And if you got the question, should I do this? Don't do it. That's how I taught myself. And that's why I am the way I am now. If I ever got a question, don't do it. Just don't do it. And then you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to sit here and try to figure out, okay, how I'm going to do this? No. So hanging out with bad company and bad influences. Become wise by working with the wise. Hang out with the fools and watch your life fade to pieces. Proverbs chapter 13, verse 20. That is so true. If you know you don't drink and you get invited to a bachelor's party and you don't drink, yes, you can go, but you already know it's going to be a bunch of liquor. You already know it's going to be a bunch of women. So you know how that night's going to end. Why? Why would you do it? But yeah, you don't drink. Just don't have yourself around. Now, it's always good to support. You can always stay for a little bit. Look at the time. When it starts getting crazy, a little buck wild, all right, I'll catch y'all later. Exit. Gracefully. Intentionally. Exit. Like you don't have to sit here and find an excuse or a lie. Hey, look, y'all know what I'm on right now. I'm on Christ time. I gotta go. You know that. So number 4, listening to music that go against the word of God. So definitely wanted me to get this across. I remember my sister's, my younger sister, she said she wanted to go to see Beyonce. Beyonce tickets was, man, it was like $1,000 something. First of all, I'm not paying $1,000 to see nobody. I'm not paying $1,000. I'm not paying $800. I ain't even paying $5 or even $4 to go see no person that don't even know who I am. Are you crazy? No, like I'm not doing it. And so, my sister, she was like, well, I'm going to go see Beyonce. And I told her, I said, I don't think you need to go see Beyonce because there's something about Beyonce that just doesn't sit well in my soul, Siobhan. You shouldn't really go. I don't think you should go. She like, well, I want to go. I don't think you should go. And then when we got the phone, it just so happened I was either putting them groceries or laundry. I can't remember, but I was putting them up out the car. And I remember her music came on the radio. This was the last time I listened to the radio. I kid you not. And you can ask anybody I know. I don't even turn on the radio anymore. Guess what I do? I plug into my phone into my car and listen to the gospel. Or if I'm doing a little bit of R&B, it's the back in the day R&B, like the good slow jams, no cursing, just really loving on somebody. I don't get down with all that cursing stuff in the music and, shooting up and talking about women and private parts and all and killing. I don't see how you can listen to that stuff. It's just no. And I remember her song came on and y'all, I started shaking. And my best friend was beside me. She's like, what is wrong? I said, turn it. I started shaking. And I could not understand why. But I'll tell anybody, no, something ain't right with her. I know y'all love her music. I used to when I was younger too. But the more you grow closer to Christ, which is these 4 things I'm talking about now, you will understand that music is not good for you. Music is an emotional attachment. So like, if you're going through a bad time, what you do, you cut on music that's slow songs, crying songs, heartbreak songs. If you breaking up with your boyfriend, you'll turn on some Mary J. Blige or something like that. Or, some Jodeci, something or some Joe, something to where it's like, it'll get you in the mood of how you feeling. Think about that. That means that's going to control how you feel. So if you break up with your boyfriend, because you have 2 ways. You have some people who, if they just broke up, they'll listen to heartbreak music. Or some listen to music to where it's like, forget that man, or go to the club, shake it. And then now they're like, yeah, you know what? I'm about to go out, forget this. Right. So music controls you. So why would you listen to music that has bad wording in it? It's going to make you think that. But if you listen to gospel, guess what it's going to do to you? It's going to have you think of Jesus. It's going to have you want to get closer to God. It's going to bring times like me. I know when I listen to gospel music, if I listen to it and if I had gone through something, I'm busting out crying. Or even if I hadn't gone through nothing, just my testimonies, just what he brought me through, I'm going to cry. Because that's what music do. Music is really, it constantly, it brings a remembrance of whatever happened, of what you have gone through, or it'll make you think of something in the future tense. Like if you just got proposed to and you cut on Let's Get Married by Jack and Edge, right? What you going to think of? You walking down the aisle, right? That's how it works. So why would you sit there and listen to music that go against the word of God? That's not smart. That I'm not saying, not saying so, but that wouldn't be a wise decision. So do not conform to this world. You can't do it, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing, you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. And that came from Romans chapter 12, verse 2. So the 4 things we have to stop normalizing: cursing, little white lies, hanging out with bad company and bad influences, and listening to music that go against the word of God. We have to stop those things. And then 4 things that you must quit in order to grow closer to God: worrying, speaking word curses over your life, allowing your fears to control you, or that could be allowing people to control you as well, and then people pleasing. So before I move to the new season, out of the 4 things that I named, well, the 8 things that I named, have there been a time to where, or anyone that I have named, which one are you more familiar with? And you can write it in the chat. Like, which one are you familiar with more to where you yourself is like, what, I need to probably stop, allowing fear to control my life, or worrying, or this or that. Like, which one are you needing help with? Or which ones is it to where you've noticed that you've normalized as a Christian? Have you normalized cursing? Have you told a little bit of white lies? Or are you, have you listened to music that does not make you, come closer to Christ? But yes, I would definitely say that the listening to music one, that one really shocked me. I was like, no, there's something's off with her. And then it was crazy. It was this pastor. She's a woman pastor. I forgot her name. And it's crazy. A couple of days later, after my sister said that, I seen her on Instagram saying that if you go to Beyonce concert, it's kind of like witchcraft or demonic. And I said, okay, well, somebody else see it too. Somebody else sees it. Okay, you had to spiritually grow in all areas. Okay. Which one was the hardest? Because I'm going to be honest, my hardest was the Little White Lies. Because once I had that effect with Beyonce and my hand started shaking, I said, oh, yeah, no. When something hits you like that, okay, you know not to play with it again. So as far as music, no. Like even my kids, I don't let them listen to anything like that. Even my oldest, when she hear even a curse word that's in a song, she'll cover her ears. She's really literally a mini me when I was her age. Like Mala is just like me. Cassidy is more like her dad. Cassidy's more like a, like whatever, mommy. But then she's still there some days. But yes, music makes a huge, huge, huge impact on how we. Yes, it does. It does. I've done a little of everything, but I've been busting my butt to control and work on it all. Okay. I love the honesty. Okay, so we're going to go straight to new season. That was my second hardest. People pleasing. Yes. Because I have 3 sisters, and oh my gosh, we all have like our different personalities. So I can take women. Like I can literally be around any type of woman. I'm like, okay, I got you, girl. I'm with you. I'm with you. Like it'll be hard for me to not like somebody because and it's my mom. So it was 5 of us all together. So me, my 3 sisters, and my mom, and we all have different personalities. Like I'm telling you, we're all completely different. And I have had every side that you could probably think of. But I will always try to people please them. So that was my second one. Oh my goodness. But them Little White Lies, ooh, sometimes when I want to be alone, I'll make up a good old lie. And it's not that I didn't like the person. I just be tired. Okay, so we're going to go to the new season. So this one is just something that I personally did. New season, new me. Something I feel like everybody is trying to do. I'm constantly seeing a lot of Christian like reels on my page because that's all I watch. So that's why it has it that way. But they're just talking about wanting to change and wanting to do better with God. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I can help some people out that watch Bible study and let them know. These are certain tips that I got when I went through a season. And I go through a season like every 3 months. So I'm in a season right now. And I like going through seasons. I do. I think it's an addiction now to where I expect it. And that's great because after getting out of that season, you've learned something, you became a better person, and you accomplish whatever goal that was that he needed you to accomplish. So that's how I look at it. Now, we're going to talk about the 6 tips to remember in the season. So there's 6 tips to remember in the season that you're going through. But I'm also going to talk about or name a couple of things. Let me see here. That may take place, if that makes sense. So the breakdown of it. So in a new season, a new change will take place. No matter what, a new change is going to take place. And you have to be able to accept that. People will disappear. Like right now, I'm in a season where, and I think I stated in session 5 that me and my best friend, we cannot be around each other right now. And we both heard it. So I woke up one day, she woke up one day. We called each other and we both said at the same time. At the same time. Like that's how God works. And I wanted to tell her like, ooh, how I'm gonna tell her this? Because this is my best friend of 10 years. And she's with me every time we go somewhere, every trip, every family reunion, every birthday. And even this year, I may cry because she's not gonna be with me for my birthday this year. And that's never happened other than 1 year. So out of 10 years, only 1 year. And that was only because I was with my child's father that year. That was in North Carolina. And them two are like this. So it was just like, you can't bring both. And I was like, okay, this year I'm gonna bring him, you know, because he got to travel more. And she understood it, but this is a second year, and I'm just like, ooh. So this year may be a little, you know, crying for me, but in this season, he told us that we cannot be together in this season, and we know why. He told us both why, but the amazing part about being in the season is we're going to see each other again. And the next time we see each other, it's going to be 10 times better than what we imagined. And then, so people will disappear. Whoever needs to disappear at that moment, you have to be okay with it. That could be a person that's close to you, you speak to every day. That could be your boyfriend at the moment. That could maybe be your husband. And he probably saying, you know, hey, he's not for you. It's going to hurt. It hurt like crap to me. Like, that was like my partner in crime. It hurt like heck. And still there's times I want to call it and I go, can't call it. So now I got to write it out and tell myself. But it's okay. It's okay because we know that God wants us to do this for a reason. He told us why. And it's like, okay, God, I got you. That will happen because we don't know how long a season will last. That's another thing. You don't know how long it's going to last. Now, you will be uncomfortable. Yes, you will be. You will be so uncomfortable to where you're going to want to quit and say, forget this. I don't even want to be a Christian no more. I can't do this. Like, you're going to feel that way. And it's like, no, you can't do it. You cannot do it. You got to go through it. You got to go through it. You will be lonely. Yes, you will be lonely in your season. The things that you used to do, you're not going. He's not going to make you even want to do it. Like, it's going to be to where you're going to try to fight yourself, and he's going to be like, no, we're not doing that. You're not doing that. Like, it's going to be a mind shift in a season. That's what happens in the midst of a season. But you are going to be lonely, and that is okay. But you have to accept it, and then you will yearn for God more. Every season that I go through, I kid you not, like, I yearn to speak to him more, and more. And he wants that. He loves that. And he loves to be, he likes the truthfulness. Like, if you tell God, this season is hard. Lord, I can't do it. He loves when we come to him and when we're truthful with him. Oh my gosh, he loves that. Like, I'm telling you what I know because he told me he loves it. He loves it. He loves it. When you come to him and you be honest with him, God, this burden is it's too much for me to carry, Lord. I can't do this. I give it to you and he'll take it. No hesitation. I'm telling you, he ain't no second guessing, ain't no and if what's buts about it. He will take it. Oh, okay. I was waiting for you to tell me. I was just waiting on you. You know, when you got tired, because I was right here the whole time. I was knocking the whole time. So that's literally, he'd be like, I've been here, daughter. I've been right here, son. And we sitting here trying to do it on our own time. No, like, you're gonna yearn for him so much. Okay, so that's the breakdown of it. But now I want you to remember these 6 tips and how you'll know when you're in your season. So no more allowing people to guilt trip you. So basically that means that, let me see, I'm going to use this. I'm going to use my sister. This just happened. So my sister's going on a trip to Las Vegas. She has no one to watch her child, right? So she tells me. And me being me, I love kids, but y'all know I don't want no more, but I love kids. And, you know, Sade, you work from home, you did it. Can you watch? Okay, sure, I'll watch. But then I'm thinking, if I don't watch him, then I feel guilty. She guilt tripped me. That's what that is. We got to stop letting people do that. For example, I'm using another one. Your mother calls you. Baby, I can't pay the rent. I can't. Can you help me? And then you hear from maybe your mother's best friend when you went to church that Sunday. Oh yeah, your mother done went out of town with Bishop Cope, and they had a good ball. They had a good old time at the casino. But mama just said that she needed some rent money. But then you feel like, dang, if I don't help her, I feel guilty because my mama, she's gonna be behind on rent. But yet your mother had the mindset to sit there and be irresponsible. She knew she needed that money for the rent, but she went ahead and was at the casino with Bishop Coke, having a good old time. She knew that. She knew the rent was coming up. Everybody knows when the rent is due. And it's like my sister. She knew, okay, well, hold on. But I'm still going to do it now. I'm going to say that now. I am still watching my nephew. But she knew, okay, hold on. Sade has 2 kids of her own. She's going to watch 2 of my kids. How am I going to do this? She knew she should have made a better decision when it came to planning her Las Vegas trip. So, but we talked about it and we on a good plan. But I explained to her, no more. You will no longer guilt trip me into anything because you were irresponsible with certain things. And there was certain lies that was said that we talked about, but we on a good plan now. So no more allowing people to guilt trip you for their irresponsible behavior. Because my sister has her kids. She's a mom. If you don't have them to watch them, you shouldn't go on that trip. Mothers make sacrifices every day. And I could give a couple of times that I knew I couldn't go on the trip. And I just said, I can't go. I have to watch my kids. And just like that, the mother, she knew she shouldn't have gone to the casino with Bishop Coke. But she went ahead and went. And she knew her rent got to get paid. So instead of her being responsible, she said, well, let me call my child and see if they got it. But now there's things you got to do with that money. And it's not even also that they're just going to guilt trip you. Now you're left with the burden because now, and you didn't, because just like with my nephew, I know I ain't about to get no sleep. I'm going to be tired. Hopefully he don't come here with a cold because now I'm going to get a cold again. Like now I'm left with the aftermath of watching him, and then you have the mother to where when you go ahead and give her the money for the rent, now you left with how I'm going to come up with the extra money for what I want to do. So we have to stop allowing people to guilt trip you in the midst of your season. That will happen. Okay. And then, because you will feel drained, you will feel tired, you will feel aggravated. So don't do that. Number 2, stop going back. In your new season, do not go back. Leave the past in the past. So if God is telling you, don't do it, you can't do it, you're not allowed to do it, you shouldn't do it, don't do it. And for example, so I'm just doing this for example, for if your spouse was to cheat on you about lying, abusing, and you keep thinking it's going to change, because they're like, baby, I'm a changed man, I ain't going to do it again. Or, the woman saying, baby, I'm a changed woman, I ain't going to do it again. I love you. I feel like God is changing me. Because, people, they always want to put God in something to make it seem so real. Like we don't know when you lying, right? And so you sitting there, you're thinking, oh, well, they mentioned God. They said they're changing. And in good darn well that this is like the 5th, 6th time they done said this. Don't go back. And in your season, if God is attracting that person, it's for a reason. But because you're going to, and we're going to go back to what I said, because you're going to be lonely, because you're going to be uncomfortable, because the people are disappearing, because a change will take place, you're going to want to give up. Can't do that. That's why it's a new season, new you. It can't be a new you if you're doing the old things. All right. So then you got to stop going back and leave people in the past, because if not, it's going to revert back. Same cycle, nothing going to change. And then number 3, be silent. In your new season, don't even speak. Don't argue. Don't gossip. Don't detain. Don't do none of it. Just look pretty, look classy, stay in your feminine. And for my man, look masculine, go to the gym and look right. Keep it clean at night. Like, don't sit there and entertain nobody. And when I say nobody, no one. Don't talk. Don't overly extend. Don't overly try to make yourself like somebody to see your worth. Don't do none of it. Just be silent. Literally. So for example, stop arguing with people that don't understand you. Learn with being okay with being misunderstood. People only understand from their perspective. That happens all the time. Like it'll be times in my season, I would explain to people, hey, look, I can't talk to you right now. Well, you can't talk to me. Well, it's not really you. I'm just trying to become a better person. I'm just trying to do better in life. Well, what you mean? I ain't good for you? Well, I'm not saying that. And now you got to sit here and constantly keep explaining. God don't want you to do that. In your new season, be silent. He will fight for you. That's why you're going through this season. And then also he's going to expose people in your new season. So if that person is not understanding that you're trying to become a better person for God and you're in a new season, so what does that tell you? Hang it up. They're not for you. And I'm going to tell you now, when you're silent, it's more peaceful. It's way more peaceful when you're silent. It's just so much better. I'm telling you guys, like when you don't have to sit here and deal with combative people, that want to argue all day and want to talk about why you're here and why you're not here anymore, they're not good for you. It's just so much people just to just sit there and say, I'm not dealing with this. Now, the fourth one is uninviting yourself. Now, a lot of people have a hard time doing this. In your new season, you have to be okay with uninviting yourself. There's been plenty of times, and my best friend can tell you this, where I was just like, look, I'm not going. You don't know how bad my flesh was like, Sade go, and how bad I wanted to go. Like, I was like, oh, they having a pool party. Like, I wanted to go so bad. But God was like, no, can't go. And I'm like, well, hey, can't go. I just can't go. By uninviting yourself, you have to be okay with uninviting yourself and showing up to places that your flesh wants to be, but your soul doesn't. So I'm going to say that again. You have to be okay with understanding that in certain situations, your flesh is going to yearn temptation. Because like I tell y'all, and I'm going to keep saying, you fight your flesh every day. Every day you fight your flesh. And so your soul is not going to want to be there. If you ever been in a situation to where you was like, okay, I want to go, I want to support, I want to be there, I want to be for that person, I want to contribute, I want to sponsor, whatever the case may be, and there's something, that intuition, there was something that was like, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I know that women have intuition, but how I look at it, I feel like it's God, because I feel like everybody have it. Because people say that men don't have intuition, like women's intuition. I just feel like I feel like that's God. That's my personal opinion. You know, I'm not right. That's just my personal opinion. But I just feel like that's God telling you don't go. Like in the pit of your stomach, it's like you got a boob a little bit. You know you shouldn't go. Like that bubbly feeling, just don't go and don't entertain that person. And now by you uninviting yourself, because you never know. And when you're in the midst of a new season, you don't know, by God telling you not to go, you could have been in a car accident. You could have got raped. And if you could switch it to a man's point of view, you could have been robbed by a bunch of females. You could have got jumped by a bunch of men. You just really never know. You really, really never know. So my thing is, always remember in the midst of your season, when you hear him, and if you can't hear, because some people say they don't know if it's God or them, you will know. I want you to, because I don't want to spoil it, because I've told people what it sounds like, but I want you to find that out by yourself, because once you hear it, it's like I cried the first time. I completely cried. But when you hear it, because some people said they don't, they said they feel it, and some said that they see it. I don't see him. I really just hear him. I've never seen him. So I don't know, because some people be talking. So, and I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen him. I've seen demonic figures, I've seen demons, I've heard demons, I've heard the devil's voice, but I've never seen, a vision of God or anything like that. Now, one time I did. As far as his eyesight, me and my friend was driving down the road and I saw a big cloud and it was an eye, and I got scared. My best friend looked on me on the side. She said, "What are you doing? Like, you okay?" And I was scared to lift, it was a cover and I was scared to lift it. And she was like, "Why are you scared?" I said, "Emily, there's an eye right there." The eye was so big, the eye was huge. And I was like, "No, I'm not making this up. There's an eye in this cloud." And when I say it was so big, it was like he was looking at me. And how I know when it's God, when it's personally something that's for me, I start shaking and I get goosebumps. Like when I have a vision. It was one time I was in a car with my friend. We just got done doing laundry, like maybe 6 minutes down the road from where I'm at right now. And God wanted me to see something that someone did, because this person had lied to me. And that's how, and it's amazing. God loves me so much. He said, "No, baby, I got to tell you the truth." Because they thought it was getting away. I got to tell you the truth. And I got cold. My mouth, when you get cold and your teeth start chattering. I started chattering. And my soul, I felt it like I was wobbling. And I'm just looking. And I'm literally seeing that person. Now, my best friend is driving. While she's driving, I don't even see the car no more. I'm literally in the hotel room watching this person and that person. And I was in shock. This has never happened to me before. And I was just like, Emily, did you, and Emily's like, "Sade, what are you talking about? There's nothing here." And then I knew what the floor looked like. I knew what the person was doing. I seen the person get out the shot. Like I saw all of it happen. And when I got done, and it took me some time, like she had to turn on the heat in the car. That's how cold I was. I was just shaking. And she turned the heat on. And I said, Emily, I saw this happen. I saw this happen. And she said, I believe you, because you was just gone. So what I saw, she couldn't even see. And then when she was looking at me, I was just like, she said I was like this the whole time. But I literally was seeing and walking around. It's amazing. And the reason why God showed me that vision was because I was going to make a decision. That person didn't know. I was going to make a decision. And God said, no, you're not. Because if you had made that decision, that person would have won you off of a lie. That's how much God loves me. I'm trying to tell y'all. God loves you too. That's how much he loves us. To where he was like, no, you're not going to make that decision based off a lie. Now, what I have in the future, problems, but not based off a lie. You can't lie to a chosen person. You can't lie to an anointed person. You can't lie to anyone that has a relationship with God. You think you can, but it's not going to get far. And I'm telling you, like, it's just an amazing feeling. So he does not want you he does not want you around people that, that can put you in certain places, or he don't want to put you in a situation. He's always trying to protect you. So by uninviting yourself, you don't even know what he saved you from. And the reason why I told you the situation with the vision, because he saved me. I was in a season that time. And I was fasting as well. I was fasting. And that's why I tell people, I think that was session 2. When it comes to fasting, you're going to hear him loud and clear. But this time I had a vision. So it's just like people think they can get by, but you can't. Not when you have an anointing. Man, you got to be, because you don't know who's anointed. You don't know who's called. You don't know who's chosen. You just see a person. You don't even know. And that's why I remember my dad would always tell me, be careful how you treat people, because you could be talking to an angel. You just never know. So always uninvite yourself. The 5th thing, change your perspective. So in the midst of a new season, you have to understand that the mindset you once had, you will no longer have again. In every season, you're going to have a renewed mindset, if that makes any sense. You're going to have a new perspective on life in general. The things that you once thought that was important, it's not going to matter anymore. People that you thought that you should have pleased, they ain't going to matter no more. You know, if you ever had that one girl, that one man that you just looked at and was like, oh my gosh, he just give me butterflies. Like, I got to talk to him. Yeah, and you really get to know them, and they're like, so the next time you see them, you go, what was I thinking? That's how it is. That's really how it is. Like, once you get over that mindset, you're like, man, what was you doing, Sade? Like, why would you do? Because now you see better. You know better. Your mindset has changed, and you've been filled with so much knowledge that God has poured into you throughout the new season. So by changing your mindset, you'll cleanse your mind, you renew your mind, you'll tell yourself you don't belong on this level. The next season is meant for another level in life. In order to achieve it, you have to change your perspective. So it's going to be times to where you're going to be like, this is too much. I don't belong here. Like, this must be for the strongest survival people. I can't do it. Because when I tell y'all, a new season, going through seasons, it's not easy. It's not. But that's the reason why God is there with you, to hold your hand and to help you through it. But it's gonna be some certain times to where you're gonna be like, I don't want to change my mind. I'm comfortable where I'm at. I like how my mind operates right now. It functions clearly to me. But then in the midst of your season, it's like, what was I thinking before? I really thought by buying a $2,000 shirt was like, that was it. No, that's not it. You just wasted on a shirt that you're probably going to wear 1 or 2 times. That's what I'm saying about changing your mindset. Or you're sitting here, saving up, time and time again, just saving up to get something that don't even matter. It don't even matter. Your mindset will be renewed. It will be changed. Like when I tell people, I don't even see the way they see. And it's been known. It's been plenty times that me and my friend been around each other, me and my sisters, or whoever I'm just with, whoever I'm at the moment. I'm like, I don't think the way you guys do. And I don't see the way you guys see. We have different, it's like a tunnel vision with me. I don't entertain certain things. I don't look at, like, I'm not materialistic. I've never been. I've been judged that people think I am, but I'm not. I will buy the cheapest thing on the shelf before you see me catch that big old, no, I'll catch a sale before anything. Or I don't care if a car's a car. Who cares about a BMW or Mercedes Benz? It's still going to get you from A to B. Who cares what car you drive? That doesn't like tells who you are. That doesn't identify who you are as a person by the car you drive. But the world we live in today, mindset, that's what they believe. Oh, she got a nice car. Oh, she got she got a 6-bedroom house. She got money. You don't even know her father helped to get that house. The car ain't even in her name. It's in her mama name. And that's what I'm saying. We got to stop thinking worldly and think spiritually. Because the house and the car don't even matter. That don't even matter to God. Because when you die, that ain't coming with you. So you fight so hard to be seen, people pleasing. You fight so hard to be seen by certain people to look a certain way or to be on a certain level. But if you change your perspective, realize none of this stuff matters. Only thing that matters is God. Anything that you want in life in general. And see, he really just wants you to just have your necessities. Now, it's nothing wrong with having nice things here and there because I love to get my hair done. I like to get my hair done every 2 weeks. So that's something that I love to spend my money on, and my nails. I love to do that for myself, right? So to some people, well, that's the same thing. You get your hair and nails done every time. And I'm just like, okay, but that's for me. That's what I want to do for me. And then that's not something bad. I love the pamper. Who wouldn't want to love on themselves and pamper themselves, right? But you're doing it to clout. You're doing it for the clout. You're doing it for people. I do this for me. I love myself. There's a difference. So I like one time my mom, excuse me. Yes. Oh my goodness. That's how it was when I was young. Like my mother made me believe, because my mother is materialistic. And I know she's gonna see this, but she is. I gotta be honest. She's very materialistic. And she gotta have a Coach this, a Kate Spade this, Uggs this. Then there's nothing wrong with Uggs. I got a pair of Uggs. There's nothing wrong with Uggs because they last a really long time. Now that's what I was saying. It just really depends on what you're getting. Because if it's a good quality and it's gonna last a pretty good time, a long time, by all means, yes. Okay. But if it's something to where you know you don't need and you're only getting it to look good for other people, nah. It's no need. It's really no need. So that's another thing. He wants to just not that he wants, but in the midst of your new season, to just change your perspective on a lot of things. Number 6, allow whatever to happen happens in the midst of your season. Don't fight it. Whatever's going to happen, yes, it is. It's all about motive. Yes. Whatever happens, allow it to happen, please. So example, when it's God's timing, and like I stated in session 5, God's timing is not our timing. There was a time I wanted to get married so bad. Like, now I've been proposed to. A lot of people don't know this about me, but like I tell y'all, I'm this is a safe space and I'm honest. I've been proposed to 3 times. I've been engaged once. And never walked across the aisle because God, like I said, no, he said, no, he ain't it. Before I make that decision, God go, no. So the men really got to understand, it's not really about our fathers who they got to really please. It's about God. They don't know that just yet. But when it's God's timing, there's no question about it. You can't force it. Don't rush it. You know, when you're in your season, it's peace and it's no second guessing. It's no ands, if, buts, or about it. So when you're in your season, let me tell you something. Whoever comes in, they're meant to be in. Whoever leaves, they're meant to go. Whatever happened, there's no second guessing. It needs to happen. Don't fight him in your new season because you're just taking it. It's going to be longer for yourself. You're making it harder for yourself if you're going to do that. Now, at the end of the day, You're gonna go through it. You can fight it all you want, but it's just gonna be harder for you. You can be combative with God if you want to, and you can try to negotiate with him if you want to. Like, God, well, what if I go ahead and do this and then I'm gonna do that? Can this be over soon? No, it don't work that way. You have to go through it. Now, another thing I want to let you know, seasons don't have a timestamp on it. It only ends when you accomplish whatever he needs you to accomplish. Or whoever got to go, got to go. Whoever got to come in, got to come in. Whatever you got to learn. Like, that's when you know it's over with. And how you know when you're in your season is peaceful. Oh man, like it's one of the amazing feelings ever. It's like you ever took a bath, and men and women who are watching or who are soon to watch. I know some men take baths, but have you ever like just took a bath with some Epsom salt, right, and some bubble baths, a little bath bomb, light some candles, play a little bit of music. You know how that feel, right? Oh, so peaceful. That's how it feels. Like it just feels great. It's amazing. It is amazing. So the 6 tips to remember: no more allowing people to guilt trip you. Stop going back. Leave the past in the past. Be solid. Start to uninvite yourself. Change your perspective. And then allow whatever to happen. But also to remember this, that a change will take place. People will disappear. You will become uncomfortable. You will be lonely. And you will yearn for God. So I just want to make sure we have that. And then I just have a little. Now, before I move this one, I definitely just wanted to tell you guys. This is just a little bonus little thing. But before I move forward, for the new seasons, have you ever, what was one of the hardest things that you had to deal with in your new season? Because I believe that we all had at least gone through at least once a new season. I've been through so many. But I would say the hardest thing that I had to learn was to be okay with being lonely. I was very popular in high school. I was the girlfriend of, he was a football player, and he actually plays professional now. And we were high school sweethearts. When I moved down from New York, and when I went to school, he was the first guy that saw me, and he said he fell in love with me at first sight. He fell in love with me at first sight, and we dated since. Like, we were just high school sweethearts. I dated him all the way from middle school to high school. And then a little bit after, because I went back and forth with, with 2 people. I'm just gonna be honest, I did. And he asked me to come play with him. I mean, to go up to live with him when he just got drafted. And I was scared. And that goes back to the fear. Like, I was scared. I was scared of what my mom was going to say. I was scared of what my family was going to say, what my dad was going to say. Like, I was grown, and I could have went with him, I think, to Oregon. They wanted him to start in Oregon. He was like, Shadi, just come on this plane ticket. Just come. He's like, I'll take care of you. I just been drafted. I think he got like 3.2 million. And he was like, just go ahead. And I just didn't want to do it. I did not. I was scared. But I'm telling you, letting go of people or things. Okay, so yes. That was, yeah. So let go of my plan B, backup plan. Yes. That's it. So that was definitely one, just letting it go. And what was it? Yes, it was a lot as far as people pleasing when it comes to that. But let me hurry up. I looked at the time, y'all. I'm so sorry. So I'm gonna cut that story short. But that was one. That was one of mine. And it was another one. It was being lonely after he left. And it was another one that I had a problem with. The guilt trip one. Yes, that was another one that was hard for me. So now I do want to, because it is 8:05, I don't like to keep you guys more than an hour because I know everybody have a life to attend to. I want to let you guys know the 5 scriptures to speak out loud when the enemy attacks. Now, I don't know if any of you guys have faced anything demonic. The first encounter that I had with, and when I say enemy, that could be anybody, but I'm I'm speaking more spiritual. And I just want to let you guys know what to really say. And that once you say it, it goes away. When I was a kid, the first encounter I had, I was about 5 or 6, my daughter's age. That's why she goes through what she's going through, because she's my descendant. And I would see things and no one understood. I watched a movie called Urban Legend. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that movie, but it's a scary movie with a guy. He kills people with a hook. He has a hook, and right as an adult, I'm like, really? That little hook, I'll beat you up. There ain't no way in the world you're gonna kill me with a hook. Now we're gonna fight. But bottom line, he had a hook for a head, and he would just kill people. And as a kid, to me, that was like, oh my gosh. And it was crazy. I watched the movie and I fell asleep on the couch. And I woke up and the movie was over, and I was with my cousins, and everybody was saying we're going to my grandma's house. We lived behind my grandmother, and my grandmother, we could literally walk to her house. So it was about a good 8 of us. And we're all together, we're walking. And so my sister, my oldest sister, her name is Shayna, and she was a track runner in high school. So she said, the last one is a rotten egg. Y'all know I was the thickest one. I couldn't run. So I was sitting there, I tried to run, and I was the last person, so I was the rotten egg. And I'm like, why would you do that? It's nighttime. I'm scared. You know that. And I tripped over a rock. I fell. Y'all, when I looked up, I saw the man. Now I'm thinking, and see, the devil, because I'm chosen, he tried to get me when I was younger. See what the devil do? The devil know the calling that I have in my life. He knew. Well, he still knows, whatever, but it's already he's defeated. And when I was younger, he would try to play with me. He would try to play with me a lot. But y'all, this was real. This man was literally, I put my head up. This man was literally in front of me. No one else saw it. They thought I was crazy. No one, and the man was just sitting there. So the devil had, and anything that's demonic, I want to let you guys know, it's not shaped like us. It comes as an abstract figure. Long head, black, red eyes, or it may not have no eyes. It's just an abstract figure. And I remember I put my head up and I said, what the? And it was literally just, it was right there. He had a hook. And he was coming towards me. And no one else saw it. And I was so scared. I was terrified. Terrified. And that was my first encounter. Ever since then, I started seeing things like crazy. Like I started seeing stuff all the time. And I would like go in people's houses because I'm like, I could feel something like, nope, there's a spirit in here that ain't right. And I'll be looking around in the corners and stuff. And people are like, what are you doing? I'm like, listen, you don't see what I see. I can't do this. Another time, I'm gonna tell you this, guys, this one story here, and I'm gonna tell you the 5 things to read. I was at my mom's house, and I was in my room minding my business. My door opens by itself. No one opened it. Open. And then as soon as my door opened, something came in. People call it the hag, when you're just it normally happens at night when you can't move and you just still and you try to move. Now I'm gonna tell you what to say when that happens. Say hold on, I gotta think of it. I rebuke you in Jesus' name, and I cast you back to the pits of hell. But if you can't remember all that, just say I rebuke you in Jesus' name. It'll go away just like that. And you have to mean it. And I remember the first time that happened. Now this was in broad daylight. I've never had the hag get me in broad daylight. It would normally come get me at night if I'm laying down and I can't move around. This one literally opened, whatever it was, opened the door and came. You just saw it, whoosh, and I was stuck and I couldn't move. And I said, "Oh Lord, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." And I said it so quick, and whoever is around you, they're not going to be able to hear you. They will not hear you at all. This has happened to me since I was a kid, and even as an adult, around everybody. It'll be times to where I could just be minding my business at night, and it'll happen. And it'd be times where when I was dating my child's father, it happened to me. He couldn't hear nothing. I'm sitting here like Chris trying to grab. He ain't moving. He don't hear nothing. My best friend, she'll be right beside me. Can't hear nothing. And I remember nighttime then came. My mother, she had a computer and it was paper all over the floor, just paper. So nighttime came because it happened in the morning. Nighttime came. I was scared. I didn't want to sleep by myself because that happened early in the morning. So I'm like, no, I can't do it by myself tonight. I go in my mom's room. It followed me into my mother's room. Now, like I said, my mother had paper on the ground. So when it was walking across, it was crunching. You heard the paper, and it was getting closer to me. My mom couldn't even hear it. And I didn't want to see it. Like, I didn't even look. I didn't want to see it because I saw it. I seen it twice. And my dad always told me to not, like, don't look at it. One time I didn't listen. I looked. I said, never again. Never. Never again. But I know what to say. And you can't be scared of it. You already got to know that you're not scared of it, right? So you just say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, and it'll go away. Because it, like I said before earlier at the beginning of Bible study, it don't like that. It don't, Jesus Christ, Lord, say, don't like it. And I was terrified. Like, it was, the papers was crunching. So every time it was getting close to me, it was like crunch, crunch, crunch. And I was like, oh my gosh. So the reason I shared that story with you, it's another story I would share, but I think it's a little, I don't want it to scare you guys, because that one definitely scared me. But the things that I'm telling you guys are truthful. These things definitely happened to me. These are not lies. They happen. These demons are real. I'm gonna do one more. Not as specific as the other one, but this one's the way I was at my ex-best friend house. We was in college. I was living in the dorms. She was living in her hotel. Her apartment. Sorry. And I remember when she was in the midst of a situation to where she was on Tinder. It was Tinder, and she just was talking to a lot of men, and she was just having sex with a lot of men at this moment. And she was just constantly just dealing with them, right? Come meet me here and sleeping with them and whatever. Now, there's different spirits that's coming into her household. I came in the house that one day. She said, "Shall I spend the night with me?" I said, "Cool, come pick me up," because I didn't have my car at this time. "Come pick me up. I'll come back with you. I'll spend the night with you. And we have a girls' night, and then drop me off tomorrow at my place. And I'm good." Because at that time, I was dating somebody. So I said, I want to be back ready for him, so we go on our date. And she said, okay. As soon as I walk in, y'all, I said, something ain't right. And she was like, what do you mean? I said, something ain't right, but I'll stay. But as soon as I see something, I got to go. Like, I was like, hello. As soon as I see something, I got to go. I was sleeping, you guys. I woke up out of nowhere. There was a man in her bathroom. I immediately told her, there's a man in your bathroom. She looked like she ain't heard nothing I said. I said, listen, I'm going to tell you one more time. There's a man in your bathroom, and he looked like a rapist. I don't know how I felt that. I don't know. I just literally looked at this man, and I was like, yeah, he like he raped people. Because sometimes you could just tell when somebody's kind of off sexually. Like, like you could tell. And I'm like, all right. I lay back down because I prayed and lay back down. And I said, I'm not coming back here. So the morning came. I said, I'm not coming back here. I said, I got to stay away from your place for at least a week. I kid y'all not. The next day when I was at my place, she got her nephew. Her nephew was 8 years old. I think his name was Jay. 8 years old. She called me crying, y'all. Sade, my nephew said he saw a man. And I said, what you mean? He saw a man. And I said, okay, well, what happened? The man pulled the boy's pants down and tried to rape him. A ghost. She couldn't believe it. Now, she didn't see it. What happened was her nephew told her when she woke up, he said, Auntie, there was a man trying to rape me. And I just told this girl there was a man in her bathroom. Now, why she didn't leave with me, y'all, I don't know. But she stayed there. And so that's when I tell people, I'm no joke. This is not no lie. These are things that happen to me. When I say I see something, and if I say I hear something, I'm not lying. When I get up and go, you might want to follow. Because certain things I don't want to scare other people. But because some people may not take it as easy, because this happened since I was a kid. So you got to understand, I'm used to this, but some people are not. And I think she didn't believe me. But when her nephew said that happened, oh, she bust out crying. She called me crying on the phone. I'll never forget it. And another incident happened in her house. That one, I mean, I don't forget none of these things, but that one I would never forget. And I said, whoa, that one shook me to my core. But I just wanted you to guys to know that there are scriptures that you can say out loud. So when the enemy do attack, and that could be something demonic, or that could be something like, just a person. These are the things you should say. So no weapon formed against me shall prosper. So that's Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. You can say that. Or number 2, the Lord is my light and my salvation, of whom I shall fear. That's Psalms chapter 27, verse 1. And then, even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of the death, I will fear no evil, of the Lord is with me. I know we heard that as well. We've heard all of these before. Psalms 23, verse 4. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Lord will gift up and stand against him. And yes, he will. I'm telling you guys, he will. Isaiah chapter 54, verse 19. And the last one, the Lord is my rock and my fortress and my deliverer, my God and my strength, in whom I will trust. Psalms chapter 18, verse 2. So I just wanted to tell you guys this, because some people don't know what to say. And there was a time I didn't know what to say. And my dad said, oh, no, baby, you got to rebuke it. So that's what I do. And now, like with my girls, because I am who I am and I don't have a husband to cover my home, I have to do it. So that's why when my girls, they come from their room, they wake up in the night and they're like, Mommy, I'm scared. I know what the devil's trying to do, because I was once in that situation. So I remember my daughter said, Mommy, with you, I feel safe. Oh, Mommy, with you, I feel loved. I feel covered. And this coming from she was 6 at this time. I'm like, how does she know to say that? Like, how does she know to say that? So that's when I know, okay, my kids are me. And if I've been through this, I have to now teach them and cover them the way my dad covered me. Because even though my dad was not in the household, my dad would pray every night for me. Because he knew, as a kid, my dad said, I knew who you were when you were a kid. You were different from all of your sisters. They were out doing things. They were talking about, they were just doing certain things that I just wasn't into. I was always doing something different. Like, even when it comes to like sex-wise with certain things, I was 13 playing with baby dolls. I was 15 playing with baby dolls. I'm just being honest. But yeah, you had people that were 16, 12, 13 having sex. My mind was never in this. It was never for this. And I'm going to say this to let you guys know that God is real. I was in a car accident on my way to college. My mother had a Denali. She just paid off a brand new Denali. Just had a Denali, just paid it off. And she was dating this guy. The guy was driving. I'm in the back seat. My mother's in the passenger seat. The guy fell asleep at the wheel. And he turns the car. We go on the other lane. And then we come back on the other lane. How we went on the other lane and didn't hit a car, I can't even tell you. Because what sense does that make, right? How is that possible? And then we come back to the lane we was in. The car flips 4 times. I didn't have a seatbelt on. My mom and my mother's boyfriend at the time did. The car was upside down. I was on top of the roof. Not one scratch. My glasses were still on. My hair just got done. It was still right. I ain't had a scratch or nothing. Nothing. But my mother and her boyfriend, they were stuck in the car. So I just went, and I remember when I woke up and I realized I was on the roof. Because mind you, who do you know who don't wear a seatbelt, car flips 4 or 5 times, and they don't die? What? I could have flew out the car. But I didn't. And I remember I got out the car. It was a white lady. She had on she had on a white shirt, a white short, had on a hat. Out of nowhere, she said, are you okay? I'm looking at her like, no, I'm not okay. My mother and her boyfriend is stuck. I just got in the car accident. Y'all, I turned around. She was gone. She was gone. So I don't care what nobody say. God is real. And if you want a relationship with God, if you want to grow closer to God, all you have to do is just be ready to do it. Be prepared to do it. Don't run from it because he's there. And I know that it was an angel because the angels that y'all think that are angels, like angels that have wings and no, that's not it. That's what the world wants you to think. An angel is very scary, but the angel said, do not fear me. Don't fear the angel. There's angels that have so many eyes on them, like little eyes, and they're circles, and then they have a eye here and this. They're so disfigured looking. You'll be like, oh my gosh, what is this? You'll be frightened. But he said, don't be scared of me. And God knew at that time to disguise the angel as a woman. The whole time I was twirling, the angel was there holding me. Because God said, no, you have something you have to do. You were chosen and you have to do. The devil tried to take me out. And when my daddy told me this, I think it was this year. It was this year. No, it was last year. My dad told me last year, he said, Sade, you know what happened in that car. And I said, yeah, I know. The whole time the angel was holding me because I didn't feel, I didn't feel nothing. That's the thing. Like, I didn't feel nothing. I felt like I was just like, and you ever know, like a white padded room. I was soft. I didn't feel nothing. And I think she just placed me. Bloop, here you go. Place her right there. Because all I did was got up and I got out the window. I was on top of the roof. So if the car was upside down and I was just sitting on the roof. And I just got out the window. She's like, you okay? I'm like, huh? Turn around, gone. I wanted to thank her. So she was gone. Gone. So, excuse me. But that's what I just really, I would do whatever he needs me to do, whatever he wants me to do. Because he spared my life so many times. And that's not the first accident I've been in. That's just the one I remember. Because when I tell that story to people, and when they saw the car, when my ex-best friend saw that the car was total, y'all, if y'all believe how that car looked, y'all was saying, how are you here today? Well, because I have something I have to do. Period. God needs me to do something before I leave. And I'm going to do it. So, growing closer to God, the 4 things that you need to quit in order to grow closer: stop worrying, stop speaking curses over your life, stop allowing fears to control you, people pleasing. Stop cursing, stop telling little white lies, stop hanging out with bad company and bad influences, and stop listening to music that go against the word of God. And then in the new season, please be prepared to know that the change will take place. People will disappear. You will be uncomfortable. You will be lonely, and you will yearn for God. And also remember, in the midst of your season, to no more allow people to guilt trip you. Stop going back. Be silent. Uninvite yourself. Change your perspective and allow what to happen. And then the 5 scriptures I want you to read, of course, in the midst of an attack: Isaiah chapter 54, verse 17. Psalms 27, verse 1. Psalms 23, verse 4. Psalms 18, verse 2. And Isaiah 59, verse 19. And those are the 5 verses to read when you're being spiritually attacked. All right. So I believe we had a good one today. We had a good word, but before I go, because I know it's almost an hour and 30 minutes, and I don't like to keep you guys for so long, just only an hour. But is there anything that you want to talk about, anything that you want to discuss, or is there anything that you want to say before we go? Because I smell my food cooking. Oh, yes. My food is cooking for me. Is there anything that you would like to say before we go? No? All right. Well, I hope you guys have a blessed weekend, amazing weekend. I know I am. Okay. I'm gonna have a good old time with my sister. If you get a little crazy, I'm up out of there. But and have a good time at church. I love you all. I thank you guys for spending time with me. And I'm ready to see you guys next week. We'll have a good word next week. Okay. All right. So you guys have a blessed day. And I love you so much. I love you guys. Bye.